Today is the first day of the Premier League season. And you know what? I always think about, what was I like? What was I thinking back in those days when it was the first day of the season? One, you'd be thinking, please let me get through the 90 minutes unscathed, no injuries, and feeling fit. And then I'd be thinking, right, remembering my routine before a game. What do I eat? When do I eat? How much do I drink? When do I drink? Like all those little things that you can't, the little details that mean a lot to you as a player that you rely on to get a performance as well. Getting that all in check. The right music. I used to have my, like, a bit of house and garage sometimes maybe, or a bit of reggae in the morning, maybe a little slow jams in the morning, but then get to the game, up it up the ante, make sure that I'm ready to rock and roll when I go out there. And then I used to think, like, yeah, I'd be a bit nervous, but I like nerves. If I went into a game and I weren't nervous, I don't think I ever really performed to the top of my capabilities, because you need those little bit of nerves. And I think every player began into this season a little bit nervous about the things I just mentioned. Have they prepared right? Is their body right? Mentally, are they right? Are they fit enough? They're all things that go on. But one of the things you're looking forward to is walking out, especially with your first games at home, is that raw, that spine-tingling moment when you go out there and think, yeah, man, we're back. But again, where I was at Manchester United, you think that you need to win that first game. You need to start the season as you mean to go on. Get the 3 points. Yeah, you want to play well, but 3 points. That first game, then the momentum starts, and then you can start the charge. So this episode is about predictions and seeing what's going to go on for this season. I know in my head, I've done a bit of research, a bit of homework, and they fired a few questions at me. So here we go. Let's have a look at this. First up, champions. Who can I go for? Man City, 5 in a row. Can they do it? I just don't. Can Arsenal challenge again and let another one slip through their fingers? Can they get beat again on the line? I just don't think they can let that happen again. I think they've made a decent signing defensively, but give them a bit of balance, and we'll talk about that later. But I just think mentally, Arsenal have to come back stronger again and go for it. And I just think Arsenal could be the champions this year. So I'm going to go for Arsenal. Just. So let's round off the top 4 then, man. Second, I'm going to go for Man City. I think they're just going to be there because they've got the experience, they've got the players, they've got the manager. I wouldn't be surprised if they win it, because it will be 5 in a row. But I'm going to go them second. And I'm going to go for third. Controversial, but Liverpool. They've got that experience still in that squad. Yes, they've got a new manager. A lot's going to be decided on how they adapt to the new management and his tactics, but I just feel that they have that experience, and a little bit of what I've seen in pre-season, they look ready. I expect another big season from Mo Salah as well. And Man United, I'm going to go 4th. I think they've made signings that I think can get them from 8th to that level. They need to steer clear of injuries. Am I going with my heart or my head? I don't know, but I'm going to go Man United 4th. Right, the next thing I've been asked for is to talk about the biggest improvements from last season. It could be a player, manager, a team. I'm going to go West Ham. Look at the window West Ham have had. I think about £120 million spent, or there or thereabouts. The players they've had come in, Wan-Bissaka, Todibo, Fulkrug. Like, these players, Somerville, everyone was in for him. Like, they've made some good signings. And I'll talk about the defensive element a little bit later, but they've spent a lot of money. The new technical director said they were going to have a busy period this window. He has not disappointed. They've gone in. And I can see West Ham really kind of climbing the table. I don't think Champions League football has to stretch too far, but I think they'll finish a bit higher than 9th. And I think they're going to be exciting to watch. Let's watch this space. Come on, you hands. This one's a tricky one. Top goal scorer for this coming season. There's a few names in there, man. But the one that stands out's got to be Haaland. The guy's a machine. Like, he weren't as explosive and crazy as his first season when they won the treble, but still finished top goal scorer. He's probably going to have to play more games this season or more minutes because Alvarez has gone, unless they go in the window and find someone else as that backup dancer. I can't go against him. Is Cole Palmer going to have the season that he had? He was the closest man last season to him. That's going to be a big ask as well. So yeah, I have to go with Haaland. As long as he stays fit, so I think he just scores goals. I think I want to see him bring something new to his game this season. I think because defenders are starting to work him out a little bit, and I think he's getting by a little bit sometimes. Yes, he's a great player and he finds space in the box, but also he's utilising the brilliance of the creative players in the system at City. But I'd like to see just something else added to his game that we go, oh, I didn't see that much before. Because then you see how he's developing as a player. So I don't doubt his hunger and his desire to be top goal scorer. I think that will stay. So I'm going to go for Erling Haaland. Signing to make the biggest impact. I think I'll go for Calafiori at Arsenal. I think that's been a position in the left-sided area. I think the two centre-backs stay the same, but as in the left-back area, I loved what I saw of him in the short space of time in the Euros for Italy, although he picked up an injury. But also, you've got to remember he played under Thiago Motta, who's an expansive kind of new age type of thinking coach at Bologna. So he knows how to play football. He knows about the rotations and systems, that the way they work, and they're not as he didn't play in a rigid system before, so he's used to that. And I'll see him maybe occupying that left back area and coming into midfield at times. He's great driving with the ball, and I think the left side has been a weakness, I think, or the weaker part of the team at Arsenal. So he could change that, and that'll be a huge benefit to Arsenal. So I see him being a big signing and could mean a lot to this Arsenal team. One to watch, it could be a team again, or a player, or a manager. I'm going to go for a manager. I'm going to go for Fabian Hürzeler, 31 years old. Just let that sink in. 31 years old, managing a Premier League team after De Zerbi as well. I'm really interested to see how he adapts and how he takes his Brighton team from where they were the last couple of seasons. So yeah, really interested. As the likes of James Milner and Danny Welbeck, them type of guys there, Dunk probably looking at him going, rah, I'm older than you, man, and you're telling me what to do. Don't happen that often in life, does it? But hey. Also McKenna, he worked at Man United, was a coach under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I think I went into the training ground once at Old Trafford or at Carrington, and I thought, wow, the loudest voice on the training ground wasn't Ole, wasn't Michael Carrick, it was McKenna. And immediately then I thought, okay, keep an eye on him. He's probably going to go on to do his own thing at some point. I didn't expect it to be as early as it's come, and then to have the success as quick as he's had it with Ipswich. Magnificent job last season. How will he adapt now tactically? Because we see Burnley come up and play great football in the Championship, try to do the same thing in the Premier League. Didn't work and got relegated. So what will McKenna do this season? So again, another one that I'm really looking forward to watching. What about the three clubs I think might get relegated? I've got to go. I'm going to go for the two teams that came up. I'm going to go for Leicester, and I'm going to go for Southampton. Leicester sold their best player last season to Chelsea. Southampton, I just think the inexperience maybe will play a big part. And I'm going to go Bournemouth. Sold Solanke, their top goal scorer last season. So yeah, they're my three. We got to come back to this halfway through the season and see where I'm at with this one. First managerial sacking. This ain't personal, but for what's going on at Chelsea, man, I can't look no further than Chelsea. It's a merry-go-round of like madness. So who knows what they're going to get? You speak to Chelsea fans, they do not know what's coming this season. And if there's a string of bad results, which there could be, because there's so many new players, new faces there, with a new manager, he could be the first. I've been asked for my best defensive pairing, given that I was a centre-back and a defender. So I'm going to have to go with who I talked about glowingly, gave great references last season to the Arsenal pair. They're just like Gabriel and Saliba are just machines. On paper, physically, perfect between them. But again, tactically as well, they seem that they've got it right. There's a ferociousness with them as well, which I really like. They can happily take the physical battle, stand on the halfway line and say, let's race 1v1. So those two I think are the standout as a pair. But I'm really interested to see the West Ham pairing. Max Kilman's come in, done really well at Wolves. Left-footed, good balance. And Todibo coming from Nice. And I think Man United wanted to sign him, but there was obviously complications with the ownership with Nice and Manchester United with Ineos. So that put that to bed. But those two, I think, could form a really good... And they've got Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who 1v1, I think, is the best defender in the Premier League, 1v1. So I think they've got a real good chance this season, West Ham. Be really good, interesting to see how they shape up. But the best pairing is the Arsenal two. And that brings me on nicely to the Golden Glove, who I believe will be Raya. Got the two in front of him, and I knew when I played under Nemanja Vidic and Edwin van der Sar how important that little triangle is at the back, the base, the foundations, the most important part for any team to be successful. I would say that I'm a centre back, I'm a defender, but I'm going to go for Raya. I just think the team, the way they set up, you watched Arsenal play now. Yes, they score goals, but they're really stingy at the back, and they're aggressive. And they enjoy keeping clean sheets. So I'm going to go for them. Raya, the clean sheet maestro. So those are my predictions for the 24-25 season. Man, listen, I'll be here every week, you know. I ain't going nowhere. Every week I'll be here with Rio Meets, Rio Reacts. And every Monday, look out for me and my mates on Rio Presents, who sit down, we chop it up about all things football. This is what we do, man. We live and breathe. We eat, we drink football. All right. And on Rio Meets, we got some superstars coming through. I can't go into it too much because I don't want to ruin the surprise. But we got some crazy people coming on. We go a bit deeper. We go in behind the scenes, see stuff that you ain't seen before. And they're just a little bit more open, man, and just a little bit more chilled out. We don't want that stiff. Yeah. Okay. No. Yeah. We don't want that. It's relaxed. Look out. T-shirt, no collars, no ties. That's what we do here. So I can't wait for you guys to be a part of that and to see this. Thanks guys for listening to this episode of Rio Reacts. Hope you've enjoyed this show, and if you have, make sure you leave us a review and follow this Rio Ferdinand Presents feed to make sure you never ever miss an episode. If you've got a point you think we should be discussing or want to put us on the spot with a question you want answering, get in touch using the fans first at rioferdinandpresents.com email address or use #RFP on social. See ya on the next one.